Well, Red Dead Redemption 1 is finally coming to PC, but I am very pissed off about this. Not that it's coming to PC. I am a huge PC gamer, and Red Dead Redemption 1 is one of the games that I always dreamed of finally coming to PC. And it's one of the few games that I actually still boot up my old Xbox in order to play every now and then. But it's not for the single player, and it's not for the Undead Nightmare. It's for the online multiplayer, which is not included in this re-release. Just like the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch version, to be fair. But even back then I was complaining, so I'm gonna definitely still complain now about this, because the multiplayer was iconic in Red Dead Redemption 1. By far the best online multiplayer experience that Rockstar has ever made. It wasn't just some tacked on bullshit that was just there just to be there, just to say we have a multiplayer. It was an amazing, like, definitely my top 10 video game experiences that I've ever had in my entire life. It's that's how great we're talking here. So I'm definitely not buying this version if it doesn't have the multiplayer. Just like how I boycotted the Crisis trilogy because it didn't have multiplayer. Like, fuck that shit where they re-release a game and cut half the content in the original game out, and people think this is acceptable. You guys claim you're all pro-consumer. These people, certain individuals in the gaming community, they spend all their energy talking about Ubisoft, talking about EA, and all these different companies that do these shady business practices and do these fucked up things, but radio silence when it's stuff that actually it's more fucked up than anything Ubisoft's ever done. Yeah, I said it. Because at least Ubisoft doesn't re-release games and cut half the content out of the original version. That is a war crime. I don't care. It's a trend we've been seeing a lot over the past decade that I'd say was started by Sony when the Uncharted remaster trilogy came out on PS4 and the multiplayer was excluded completely. No multiplayer for Uncharted, but it had the single-player campaign only. And then even more recently, when they had the Legacy Collection on PC, the multiplayer for Uncharted 4 was cut out entirely. Yeah, this will never be okay for me. I don't care if it's 90% off on sale. I now have zero interest in the PC version. I don't care because there's going to be mods now, and people are really excited about that. But I'm still going to just stick with the Xbox version because it is the objectively better version, even though, obviously, it's going to run at 60 FPS on PC at the minimum, so that's going to be a game changer. But the multiplayer holds a special place in my heart. It really does. It helped me get through an incredibly tough time in my life, so I will always be grateful to Red Dead Redemption 1 online multiplayer. And I guess you could argue then, because of the personal experience that I've had with this mode, that maybe I'm a little biased here. And I'm just a little bit too sentimental, and I can't let go. And I can't accept that this is the way it is. It doesn't have multiplayer. Just get over it. Except, I don't care. The fact that you still have full servers for Red Dead Redemption 1 in 2024 on the Xbox 360. I can't speak to the PlayStation 3 version, but at least on the Xbox version, where you have the backwards compatibility and everything, you have a lot of players online. And for what it's worth, if you have the Series X, you can get 60 FPS for what's it called? Series X Enhanced, or I think it was actually originally on the Xbox One X, where you had 60 FPS for Red Dead Redemption 1. So that does exist on console, for what it's worth. And also the Undead Nightmare had a great multiplayer on its own that I featured gameplay of on this channel multiple times. And it's actually, like, people are, like, commented, like, wow, this is actually really fun. I didn't even know that it had multiplayer. It does. The Undead Nightmare has a really fun zombies online co-op experience. And just the regular multiplayer. You have Team Deathmatch, you have Capture the Flag, you have Free Roam, which is obviously the best one, and you can join posses and squad up, do co-op missions together. There's just so much content in that game that I think still holds up today for the multiplayer. It still holds up to this day, absolutely. So, I think it's just a huge bummer. It's not that I didn't expect this, because if they did that with the re-release they did a few years ago with the Switch and the PlayStation 4, then I knew this was coming for PC. But I think it's funny when people choose to selectively ignore objectively bad things that these companies are doing, but just because it's something that they like personally and don't care about, then they're going to look the other way. You're either pro-consumer or you're not. You're either against corporate greed or you're not. But if you support this version of Red Dead Redemption 1, you are not pro-consumer. You're a corporate shill if you buy this and have no problem with what they're doing here. I'll be ready for all the dislikes and the comments, but if you're against me, if you disagree, you have no actual real argument to make here. It's more so, I'm a PC gamer who never played the original game before, so I never got to experience the greatness of Red Dead Redemption 1 multiplayer. So, it's like you don't know that you're missing something if you've never had it before, but it's still half the game that it originally was. And it was a very popular mode, not just something that no one played or no one bothered with. So you have no argument if you're against me. You just don't. The truth is the truth, no matter how many people get pissed off by it. Rockstar should be ashamed of themselves for what they're doing with this game, with this re-release, because they just destroyed the legacy of Red Dead Redemption 1. This is legitimately Warcraft 3 Reforged level of bad here. Just a complete and absolute disgrace. Fuck Rockstar, and anyone who's okay with this.